All right, and they have gone into Champion Select, already starting up the first game, so let's go ahead and move into that. It looks like the first ban coming out for Rageborn Gauntlet will be on Shen. Shen provides a lot of map control with his ultimate, especially if he also takes teleport, and can be really difficult to deal with coordinated teams, and is a pretty common ban both in solo queue and ranked 5 teams.
Looks like Xerath is coming out as our second ban today. It's not an entirely common ban, so that seems pretty targeted here. We'll see how that plays into effect if they have an idea of what they want to ban out here. Zach coming out, it looks like, for our second ban here today to go along with Shen. Zach's a pretty common ban right now just because of his big map awareness. Nothing too surprising. Don't want to deal with all that AoE and stuff, so nothing too surprising there.
Nocturne coming out as the second ban for GottaSpikeThoseFocker. Sorry, I choked on myself as I was saying that. Nocturne provides a lot of global map control, kind of similar to Shen, and has some pretty nasty ganks. His Darkness ability also can really mess up team coordination, as it's hard to see what's going on and coordinate with your teammates. Nami and Jarvan are the last two bans, with Thresh being picked up as first pick for Rageborn Gauntlet. We've seen Thresh being first picked a lot in this tournament. Why do you think he's making it through bans so much when he's so popular?
Probably because the teams more like to do the targeted bans, it looks like. It looks like more teams are more want to get rid of people's pub stomp champions and have to deal with more of the common champions. And a lot of people cry about how Thresh is OP, and yeah, he's a really strong support, but he can be countered just like anything else. If you dodge the hooks, then obviously that makes it really easy to beat him. So the debate of what is OP and what isn't obviously comes into play there. But it looks like we have Renekton maybe getting shown here by McCary Bear. See if he decides to lock that one in. Maybe he's got that new pool party Renekton skin. See how that goes.
Be interesting to see if GottaSpikeThoseFocker picked all pool party people.
Nope, there's the Cho. They ruined it.
I think that'd be really exciting. It'd make my day to see a team all with the same theme of skins. Alright, so Cho'Gath and Renekton, both very tanky, being locked in for GottaSpikeThoseFocker. They also both provided a decent amount of crowd control with Renekton's AoE stun, and then Cho'Gath's 3-second silence knock up. It's a lot of crowd control and tankiness coming out from GottaSpikeThoseFockers. It's going to be a really difficult team name to say without swearing.
Yeah, that's really difficult. I say we just go with an acronym here. Let's just say GSTF. We got GSTF on the one side here for purple. I think we're going to do that. So we're going to stick with GSTF for this game. It looks like we have Lee Sin getting picked up by the Legendary Full, and Ilet looks like he's hovering over the Kennen. See if they lock those in. Lee's obviously a really good jungler right now. Got pretty good wave clear time. Really aggressive. Probably going to see a lot of really aggressive jungle style from him. Probably a lot of ganks. Probably a lot of invades coming out from him. Looks like Kennen's from Ilet's getting hovered over as well. Kennen's really strong in the mid lane right now, or in the top lane, depending on where they want to put him. So that's still a really ambiguous pick. So they have a little bit of mystery going about them right now, looks like.
And Thresh and Kennen can go together pretty well if you pull off the combination right, where Thresh dives in after landing his hook. He can put himself in a really bad spot in the middle of the entire enemy team, but if he drops his ultimate there, the team won't be able to spread out in time to avoid Kennen's ultimate, and Kennen can land his ult over a large number of people. It looks like
definitely with that Lantern initiate coming in with the Kennen, if he's able to land the Golden Cow, or whoever plays Thresh is able to land a death sentence, and then they'll be able to pull in Kennen right behind him, so it could definitely be really helpful. Really good initiate coming in.
Yeah, we see Leona being picked up by GSTF, adding on to their tanky crowd control that they had so far, as well as Quinn, which is a pretty uncommon pick. So I'm really interested in what they're going to do with her.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they use the Quinn for this game. Definitely definitely a really tanky team coming out right now, but we'll have to see how that really plays in. So we expect probably a lot of team fights for them, a lot of hard initiate. But then we're looking at the other side, and we have Ezreal being shown right now, and they have a really mobile team. So they have a Lee Sin, they have a Kennen, they have a Thresh, and they have an Ezreal. They're really going to be getting all around the map. They're going to be able to dash in and out. You have the Lee Sin going in and out. You have Ezreal going in and out with the Lantern coming in from Thresh, and Kennen with his Lightning Rush. They're going to be able to get it across the map. And Vlad being shown as well. This is a really mobile, really anti-initiate team. Like, they're going to really do good about getting and kiting repeatedly over and over. So I really think Rageborn and Gauntlet is definitely sticking with their more of a kiting, more getaway strategy, while on the other side of GSTF, they're picking really more of the hard initiate, we're tanky, we're going to be in your face team comp.
Another combo that I personally really like is Kennen and Vladimir. They have a giant amount of AoE damage coming out from both of their ultimates, as well as they can both build Spell Vamp and share Willed Ancients. It's not commonly done anymore, but it's a very strong combination when you have two AoE heavy AP champions.
That's that double AP comp coming in. So we have that double AP comp from Rageborn Gauntlets coming out, and then on the other side we have just a really tanky, more of a standard team with a tanky jungler coming in from GSTF. So this game should be going pretty good here. If we're looking at the matchups, we have Leona and Quinn in the bot lane versus Ezreal and Thresh. It's pretty even, nothing too surprising there. It depends on who's really on their game for that matchup. Ezreal does pretty well against Quinn, but Quinn can counter Ezreal a little bit, but I feel like Thresh personally counters Leona. If he's able to get good flays off, he'll be able to counter that Zenith Blade coming in really well and be able to keep Leona really far away. And then in the top lane, it looks like we're going to have a McCarry Bear on Renekton. And he's probably going to, not sure versus Vladimir or Kennen yet. I'm assuming he's going to be Vladimir in the top lane. So we're going to have Black Starfire on Vladimir in the top lane versus Renekton. Renekton should be a little bit of a bully early on, but if Vlad's able to get it to level 8, level 9, he should be doing all right. And then in the mid lane, it looks like we're going to probably have Orianna versus Kennen. Once again, that's a very poke-heavy matchup. We'll see how that one plays out for them. There's going to be a lot of trades back and forth. Nothing too exciting there. It's probably going to be pretty farm fest for that matchup. And in the jungle, we have Cho'Gath and Lee Sin. I really expect Lee Sin to be really aggressive in the jungle. He can definitely solo Cho 1v1 in the jungle if he's able to catch him out. But Cho does exhaust. Cho does not have an escape, so we'll have to see how that works out for them.
Yeah. So looking at the tournament bracket, this is the last match to be played in round 2 of the Advanced Interplay tournament. It's between Rageborn Gauntlet and GottaSpikeThoseFocker. That's the 6th seed team on Rageborn Gauntlet versus the 22nd seed on GottaSpikeThoseFocker. However, GSTF has already overcome a higher seed than them, beating out Squirtle Squad, the 11th seed team in the tournament.
So it should be a pretty good matchup here. We'll see how this all works out. Should be a pretty close game.
Alright, so if we reach 100 viewers on our stream during this match today, we will be giving away another $10 Riot Point gift card. We have things better planned out, so this giveaway should go smoother than it did last time, and we're looking forward to that. So if you guys spread the word about the stream and we get 100 people in here between matches or at the end of the matches, we'll be giving away a $10 Riot Point gift card.
Yeah, we gave away one of those last week Sunday, I believe, so we're looking to give away another one here today. Someone who follows the channel, we're going to be asking a question, and then whoever answers the question correctly in chat first is going to be the winner of that. So it'll be really interesting to see if either of these teams play really aggressive in the level 1 fight here for this game. We have a knockup potentially coming in from Cho. Normally, most Cho junglers, though, like to start with those Vorpal spikes, so I won't be too surprised to hear that out. But you do have the Death Sentence coming in from the side of RG here with Thresh, and then Lee Sin to follow that up. So there's a lot of damage coming out, so we'll see how it is. See how it goes here. Probably won't see too much aggression early on, though. In my opinion, I feel like most teams are going to start pretty standard this game, and we'll see how it goes.
So there's a little bit of confusion coming out from the audience as to the Ezreal, who they believe is Diamond 5. However, well, it looks like I let the Diamond 5 player. I can verify that it is actually lowercase L let, who is a Gold 5 player.
You guys who don't know, when this tournament first started, this was only for people ranked gold or below at the start of the tournament at the registration, but if they were able to climb up out of gold after that, we did not punish them by disqualifying them. So if they were able to climb out of gold after the registration, they are allowed to be out of it.
Yes, and so going into the loading screen now, you can see that 2 members of Rageborn Gauntlet, it looks like, were Platinum in Season 2, but were Gold upon registration and have since climbed their way back up. I believe Legendary Fool is currently Platinum 3, and Kaidigan, or one of them is only Platinum because of their 3s team. So, and then the other one is Platinum 5, I believe. If I remember correctly from while they were in Champion Select, or the custom game making thing. So all teams in the tournament are following the rules. Upon registration, we verified every single player to make sure that everything was as it should be.
Looks like we're getting in game now. I personally love this this new Leona skin coming out. I think it's absolutely amazing. And no, it's not just because I love Leona as a champion. I think it's a really cool skin coming out. It's a good idea for them to come up with stuff like that. Looks like we see both teams buying up in the mid lane. Pretty common starts from both sides. We have a lot of wards coming out, though, from Liquid Awesome on Leona. On the other side, we have Thresh, who decided to start with the Rejuvenation Bead. Ping's going down all across the map. Looks like we see this side coming up here. Looks like they're going to maybe try for a late blue invade up in the top lane. But we have a Cannonage on Kennen up there, and he's probably going to be able to spot them out. So we'll see how this goes out there. We have a ward dropped down in the bottom river here in the island bush, so we'll see how this turns out for us.
We see all 5 members of GottaSpikeThoseFocker sitting in this top bush. It looks like they're going to be moving into the enemy's blue buff, but they will be spotted out by Kennen. So we'll have to see if they manage to catch on to him before he can escape.
Looks like they're walking in now. It looks like Kennen has seen them, though, as he throws off Thunder and Shuriken, and then he just runs away. But it looks like they're going to have to forfeit up this blue buff. Looks like GottaSpikeThoseFockers just is going to drop a ward, and then they're going to back right off there. Looks like everybody's going to go to their lanes. It's going to be Renekton in the top lane, but on the other side down here by the other blue buff, it looks like the Legendary Fool maybe wants to try still on that one. But it looks like they're going to see that, and they're going to just decide to back off. So once again, looking at the matchups as the junglers go to their respective buffs to claim them. Top lane, it looks like it's actually going to be Kennen versus Renekton, not the Vladimir. And match should be pretty okay there. Looks like there's a Doran shield start from Renekton with a really powerful start, while Kennen decided to go for the Doran's blade, so Renekton's going to have a little bit of an advantage with that one. Both summoner spells, Rock and Flash and Ignite. In the mid lane, we're going to have Vladimir versus the Orianna. Both of them rocking Flash and Ignite as well. Item starts on them. It's going to be Vlad with Boots and 4 pots, and Orianna with the Fairy Charm. A couple wards coming out on her, though, and some pots as well. And then in the bottom lane, it looks like we're going to have Ezreal, who starts with the Doran Blade, as well as Quinn. And then the difference between the supports is Thresh started with the Rejuvenation Bead, while Liquid Awesome on Leona went for more additional wards. Looks like in the top lane, it looks like the Legendary Fool has just finished his jungle route, and it looks like he's going to sneak up for a gank here on McCarry Bear. There's no wards to spot him out as the Legendary Fool goes in here. Slice and Dice goes out from Renekton. Good flash by him to dodge the Q by Lee Sin, and he's going to be able to get out of that. Cost of a flash burn, though.
We saw Orianna and Cho'Gath both respond to that gank by starting to move forward before backing off, so it's good reaction time by them to try to make it to the fight in case it was broken out. Although it did end up costing Orianna a few CS as the wave got really close to her tower.
The thing I want to point out here is how slow Cho is currently clearing his jungle. We see the Legendary Fool hanging up here by Cho'Gath. Maybe he's going to try to go in on this one or just claim some race for himself. But he's considerably ahead speed-wise. And it looks like they're going to spot each other out here at the race as Legendary Fool is going to sit there and try to claim those for himself. Battle for the blue race.
There's not too much Shogath was able to do early on in that fight because he was at such a low health, but he was able to regen as Lee Sin got damaged a little bit by the race, and it helped even out the health there.
It's important to note that Cho has that exhaust though, so if Lee does decide to go in on him, that exhaust is really going to give Cho a huge advantage in the top lane, or in that jungle fight. Most of the time, Lee Sins are really good at punishing other junglers 1v1, but with that exhaust coming out from Cho, it's really going to help him out quite a bit.
Now we see Cho'Gath coming in on the Kennen. Kennen doesn't have any wards, so he doesn't see this coming. If Cho'Gath can land the knockup, Kennen might be in trouble. But no, Renekton could already back off, and they both just back off.
Yeah, it looks like Renekton decided to stop chasing that one. Good rupture by Cho. Kennen was able to just sneak right out of that one. Looking at the CS across the board, top lane 22 on Kennen to 15 on Renekton. He's getting ahead of him a little bit there. Not too tremendously bad. In the mid lane, we have 21 on Orianna to 30 on Vlad. In the bottom lane, looks like we have a little bit of action as Thresh landed and Lee Sin, who was not able to land his Q there, and is just going to have to back right off of that. So as the Sonic Wave was not able to land, it looks like he's going to have to back right off. Looks like Cho's sitting in the top lane again to attempt another gank here on Kennen. He's probably just going to wait that one out. As the wave's pushing, Kennen probably isn't in too much trouble here as he still has his flash up as well, unless Renekton's really good about baiting him out just like that. Rupture does miss those. Kennen flashes away out of that one. And flash burn by Kidnage on Kennen there in the top.
Lee Sin's been sitting in the bot lane for the last little bit, trying to look for a gank, but ends up just recalling in the bush that they had pinged.
Bot lane CS is about even right now, 30 on Ezreal to 29 on Quinn, but the wave is pushing against Quinn, so it looks like she's got a lot more CS that she has a chance to catch up on here, so we'll see how well she does with that. Overall, pretty passive so far. Lee Sin's been really trying for a couple ganks, as is Cho, but in the end it looks like they haven't really been able to succeed anywhere, as it's been a pretty passive, pretty farm game so far. Vladimir in the mid lane though is doing a great job on farming up, and he's currently 20 CS over Orianna here, so he's doing a really good job at increasing his lead there in the mid lane.
So now the farm between Ezreal and Quinn was about even up until Ezreal went home, but Quinn decided to stay and has farmed a few extra waves before going home, and that'll put her ahead in the lane. Meanwhile, Lee Sin comes in on Renekton, who's able to hop away, but Lee Sin tower dives, gets stunned under tower. Kennen's able to take down Renekton with a shuriken, as both Lee Sin and Kennen almost died to the tower.
This looks like first blood coming up for securing the top lane there. But it looks like Quinn's probably going to end up backing in the bottom lane. She stayed for a couple extra waves, but now Ezreal has that Vamp Scepter up on her, so it'll be interesting to see if she stays there and tries to last out. In the meantime, it looks like we have Cho'Gath heading for a lane gank in that bottom lane. Let's see if they're going to be able to pick anything up off of that. But the lane is pushing really hard, so he's going to have to wait for a couple waves for it to push out. As Islet and the Golden Cow are doing a really good job freezing that wave up. So he's probably going to have to wait for a couple times as the first bush is warded as well. So we'll see what happens there. Looks like we have a little bit of a lane swap as Orianna wins to cover top, and Renekton is now coming to sit in mid against Vladimir, who is level 7 to Renekton's level 5, so quite ahead here. Cho'Gath eventually does decide that no gank's going to happen. It looks like he's going to back in the bot lane, go secure blue for Covet Panda on Orianna in the mid lane. Not a whole lot going on there. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Kennen is happily farming away. 47 CS to 27 CS, and severely increasing his lead there.
Well, Renekton... Oh, never mind. I was remembering things incorrectly. For some reason, I thought Renekton had gotten the kill on top. It was the other way around, which just gives Kennen an even more dramatic lead. While after dying, Renekton had gone mid to try to help out mid. It just ended up wasting more time and getting further behind. He's now 2 levels behind Kennen already, and doesn't have his ultimate while Kennen does.
Yeah, so it looks like both solo laners are struggling here. Looks like they're having a little bit of a hard time being able to last in lane. Vladimir does pick up that blue buff and secure it for himself. Item-wise, Kennen does have his Haunting Guys finished, so he's going to be giving Renekton a lot more trouble, as Renekton just is able to finish a No Magic Mantle right now. So he's quite ahead of Renekton in that top lane. Looks like in the bottom lane we have a little bit of action as Liquid Awesome decides to go in on the Golden Cow. Their ultimate is used. Dash Vault comes in from Quinn there. Ninth Death Sentence lands. Looks like they're going to continue going in. True Shot Barrage comes out. Flash Wave by Quinn. Lee Sin comes in, able to land the Sonic Shockwave and able to secure that kill picked up there. So good job there in the bottom lane. Lots of aggression coming in from Liquid Awesome as he was able to hit 6 first and use his ultimate to his advantage. And it looks like the RG is going to be rotating here to the Dragon to try and pick that up for themselves. And as it's pink, they're probably not going to have too much trouble here securing this one. Good Death Sentence in that last fight coming out from the Golden Cow on Thresh as he was able to lock up Quinn and really change the tide of that fight.
You see Orianna going in on Vladimir, whiffs her ultimate as he uses his pool, and nothing comes out of it for Orianna, unfortunately.
Yeah, Vlad's going to be able to just heal that up real quick, too, with his Tech Revolver coming out. We see Lee Sin coming in on the Legendary Fool. He's able to get the slow down. Flash comes in from Vlad as well as the Hemo Blade. Looks like the last tick is maybe going to get him with the Ignite. Oh, it does not, and Orianna is able to get out there. So we have flashes burned 1 for 1 in the mid lane. Black Starfire on Vladimir and Covet Panda, both burning their flash there. Meanwhile, in the top lane, we see Cho'Gath sneaking into the top bush here. Pings does go out, though, so it looks like RG does know that he's there. And Cho's just going to be sitting in there wasting his time as Kennen just continues to farm up and increase his lead. We're seeing about a 30 CS lead in the top lane for Kennen. In the mid lane, we have about a 30 CS lead for Vladimir over Orianna as well. Looks like we see Renekton go in, slice and dice, lands a stun, call the meek. Looks like he's just going to have to back right out after that, though. This Cho was not able to get in close enough to lock that one up. Gold lead wise, we have about a 4K lead coming out right now for RG. A little bit more like 3, closes up a little bit, but still quite significant for being only 11 minutes in the game. 3K gold lead is really quite substantial. We see the Legendary Fool coming in the spot lane. It looks like for a laney gank here as the Golden Cow on Thresh pinks that out, as well as the Tribush to give him a free way in here. Probably going to expect the Lantern to come in and then Lee Sin to follow up shortly after that. Looks like GTSF is playing really passive in bot lane, but it looks like there is the Death Sentence come out onto Leona on Liquid Awesome as Golden Cow goes down with that. True Shot Barrage comes out, misses everything. Flash comes out from Leona here. Golden Cow continues to auto attack away. Looks like Liquid Awesome is going to be able to walk right out of that. I'm a little surprised that the Golden Cow on Thresh decided not to use the box there. The slow would have really allowed Lee Sin to get in there, toss back the Lantern to him, and lock up that kill.
See Cho'Gath sitting in the nearby bushes, trying to come in on them, force them to fight underneath their tower. Lands the knockup on Thresh, as does the Leona ult. It looks like they're going to be able to chase down this Thresh, but the box comes out as he'll slow them down. Lee Sin goes back in on Cho'Gath, and Rageborn Gauntlet's able to pick that up 1 for 0.
A little bit of harass coming back there on the Legendary Fool on Lee Sin. That really... It's a little bit more like there's a lot of damage coming out from the side of Rageborn Gauntlets there. That Lee Sin kick with the Ezreal coming out, the box coming out. Cho'Gath did not use his Feast. He did not use his Exhaust. He just ended up getting blown up. So a little bit surprising there as they locked up Thresh quite well there. It's a little surprising that Cho decided not to use his Exhaust in that fight there. Leona actually had hers up as well. So it's a little surprising there they decided to hold on to that and not use it in that fight, as Cho ended up just getting blasted away. Meanwhile, in the Farm Fest in the top in the mid lane, nothing too exciting going on there as Vladimir's at 115 to Orianna's 86, and in the top lane we have 110 on Kennen to 58 on Renekton, so Kennen is absolutely dominating in the top lane right now.
Yeah, we see that Rageborn Gauntlet is only up 3 kills and a dragon, but they're at a significant 4.5k gold lead, and this mostly comes from the farm that they have, with Kennen having 50 more farm than Renekton, Lee Sin just barely ahead of Cho'Gath in the jungle, bottom lane's relatively even, but then another 30 CS lead for Vladimir in mid.
Yeah, both solo lanes seem to be really struggling here for... we gotta stop these fuckers, as they really seem to be struggling quite hard, as Orianna's getting punished in the mid lane, as Renekton is in the top lane here. So good job by the solo laners for Rageborn Gauntlet, excuse me. Looks like Dragon's going to be up in about a minute 15 here. We'll probably see Rageborn Gauntlet probably closing on that one, as they have it pinked right now and lock up another free Dragon for themselves there. Other than that, until then, I probably don't expect to see too much action going on in the top of the mid lane. Maybe there might be another Death Sentence come out in the bottom lane, but overall I feel like they're going to play pretty passive. Leona does have her ultimate and her exhaust up though, but I don't feel that Quinn and Leona right now can win a 2v2 unless they land it perfectly everything on Ezreal. But Ezreal does have his barrier up right now, as well as his flash and his arcane shift, so locking him down is going to be really difficult.
We see two men grouped up in mid now as they try to push down this middle turret, which is at really low health, and it will go down here. Absolutely no response from GSTF to that little push that they had there, and it looks like they're going to be rotating down to pick up this dragon as it respawns in 15 seconds.
Yeah, it looks like they're all hanging around there. They're getting ready to take that. It's up in about 7 seconds now. It's going to be a pretty free take for them, as Cho'Gath is top currently. So maybe we'll see if they can trade it a kill for the dragon there. But it looks like Kennen knows that he's there and goes in, tosses Thunder and Shuriken to steer him away. Orianna getting Death Sentence there. As the Hemo plate comes out for the overkill, as COVID Panda just gets absolutely melted there. Not sure what he was doing there. A little bit out of position. And now we're at 23.7k to 16.8 as the gold lead slowly climbs. I'm really surprised that there isn't more action up in this top lane, as Kennen has such a substantial lead. Yes, he hasn't backed in a while, and he's sitting on 3k, which is absolutely huge. So when he backs, Renekton's going to be in for quite a shock. Ha ha ha. But let's see how that goes. I'm really surprised Kennen's not really punishing Renekton and completely denying him out of lane, as Renekton's up to 90 to 136.
It has been a very long time since Kennen's gone home. He has 2 dragons worth of gold, as well as around 100 CS, so while Renekton also hasn't been home for a while, and you see him now picking up his Merc Treads and his Brutalizer, Kennen just bought a Zonia straight up, and that's going to make him very strong in lane against this Renekton.
Looks like we got a bit of action going on in the bottom lane here, as Thresh goes in with the Death Sentence, pops the box, and we have Leona just getting absolutely melted as Cho'Gath tries to limp away right now. One more auto attack to do it. Double kill coming out for Ezreal as he's able to secure that one up. We have Orianna coming down here to try to hold the turret though, but Vladimir's also coming in as well, and this turret's probably going to fall down. Double buff onto Ezreal there, as well as the double kill. Death Sentence comes out, completely misses, and another big easy fight for RG there. Meanwhile, the entire time Renekton was in the bottom lane, Kennen is still in the top lane, farming it up, beating on the tower a little bit. He's probably going to be able to get this one down if he wanted to. I'm not sure he wants to, but we'll see. I would like to see him take it so they can speed up to mid-game, and it looks like that's what he's going to do a little bit. That way they can roam around as 5, as they have such a huge lead right now. They could just go sit mid and try to, you know, pressure more turrets, pressure advantages. Looks like Renekton is going to go up top onto Kennen here as Carry Bear tries to go and lock him in, as Cho'Gath is coming in behind him. Looks like the Rupture is going to go out here. Silence comes out first. Here comes the Rupture. It's able to land. We'll see if they're able to lock up Kennen here.
Kennen drops his ultimate. This will do a lot of damage, because we said he was so far ahead, but Renekton pops his as well. They're continuing chasing him. He has to burn Flash and pop Zonia's, which lets them catch up to him, and he goes down.
For no reason. What are you doing? It was like, oh, I know I got away, guys, but here, I feel bad. Here you go. Man, what a Zonia's pop there. That was like pity. As it looks like we're going to have this tower going down. Good job by WGSF as they're able to take that top turret, get them back in the game a little bit. It's now only a 9k gold lead, so that's not too terrible. I mean, for 19 minutes in, 9k gold lead, pretty substantial, but at least they're going in the right direction. I'm not sure too much what Kenan was deciding to do with that hourglass. Maybe he fat fingered it or just got a little bit scared. In the meantime, we see Thresh and Ezreal claiming a blue buff for themselves. As this map control coming out is absolutely just overbearing, as RG is just really making their way around through the jungle. No worries at all, no troubles. A couple wards coming out from Liquid Awesome on Leona, but not enough to really scare away anybody. Item-wise going across the board, it looks like we have a Bloodthirster coming in on Quinn, as well as a Bloodthirster coming on Ezreal, as well as he's got a Sheen, as well as a Phage to back up on that in the mid lane. We have Athene's coming out for Orianna, but he's facing up against Vladimir, who's got his Rabadon's Death Cap and his Spectral Wraith coming out. So quite a huge lead, as you can tell. As the same for the top lane is Renekton only has his Brutalizer to his Zanya's, and Haunting Guys coming out. So huge gold leads all across the board for RG, really pushing their advantage, walking around. They own the place, they're letting them know. Looks like we have Legendary Fool walking into Shogath here, silence goes out.
So he gets knocked out. Leona might go in on this, but it looks like they decided to back out as Vladimir is there.
Yeah, good back by them. Vladimir could have probably 1v3'd, so good choice by them to do that.
So at this point in the game where it's 20 minutes in and they're down 9,000 gold, is there anything that GSTF can do to hold on to this game long enough to get back into it?
Well, they definitely need Leona to pick up an Oracles. Liquid Awesome, I understand it's still kind of a 2v2 in the bottom lane, but Liquid Awesome really needs to be rocking in Oracles right now, getting around the map, clearing out all this vision so they can try to gain back some of their jungle pressure. In the meantime, while she's clearing out the map, I really want to see, they have a lot of CC coming out here. So I really want to see Cho'Gath and Renekton and Orianna roaming together as they're doing right now, to try to pick up a kill. All that CC coming out, it looks like they're going to head over here. They might be able to get initiated in here. Leona really has to go in right now, though. She's going to go in for it. We'll see if she's able to land. Not the Zenith Blade. Way off. Maybe she'll try for the ultimate here. Probably not. Cho'Gath is still pursuing. Rupture comes out and misses, and it looks like they're going to back up after that. Meanwhile,
Kenan has just been split pushing top lane, as the 4 members of Rageborn Gauntlet is enough to keep the entirety of GSTF completely busy.
And GSTF really needs to be a little bit more bold with their initiate. Liquid Awesome on Leona should have popped his Solar Flare out there. The ultimate should have gone out to try to land the stun. Looks like we have a Death Sense going in on Liquid Awesome here, as the Golden Cow's able to lock him up. Ultimate comes out as well as the Rupture, but looks like Liquid Awesome is just going to melt away there, and free kill coming out there for our Rageborn Gauntlet. They were doing the right thing of what they should have been doing. Leona needed an Oracle, but they weren't aggressive enough to start that fight. And now RG's just going in here for another free kill on Cho'Gath as he's getting locked up. Gotta remember, Cho has no escape spells. He has that exhaust, he popped it. But here comes the Q from Ezreal. Looks like they both missed. Cho'Gath, number 1, North America, as he walks out. Cho'Gath with no escape spells. It's the new OP, ladies and gentlemen.
It worked for him. You gotta give him that. The exhaust kept him alive from Lee Sin's Q, and then just walked away.
Looks like they're gonna rotate down here and take another free dragon, so we'll see how it goes. Looks like not a whole lot's going on here. Oracle's picked up on the Golden Cow. Massive loot coming on for the side of Rageborn Gauntlet. That's going to go home and spend all the monies. We see a Triforce being picked up by Ezreal, as well as the buildings of a Last Whisper. Just so much money coming out here. Looks like we have Quinn trying to escape as he pops out the flash, and the Mad Jukes is able to get away with Valor there in the bottom lane. Too quick on that bird. But like I was saying, Mad Money's coming out. Vladimir's sitting on 1.6k. Thresh is sitting on 1.7k. And meanwhile, on the other side, we only have Quinn sitting on about 1,000 right now. Not enough to buy anything too substantial. As RG just is continually increasing their lead here up to about 12k. Not a big deal. I really want to see them grouping up though, pushing together. They have such a huge lead right now. They really need to, you know, be pressuring the objectives, and they don't seem to be doing any of that right now. They seem to just kind of, you know, be farming the jungle, walking around, not grouping.
They definitely do seem strong enough to be able to break through the walls of GSTF's space and take an inhibitor.
Yeah, without a doubt, it's just GSTF either needs to catch them out, like right now in the mid lane, how there's only 2 people there for RG. GSTF could definitely go in on that and attempt to make it. And that's what they need to do to get themselves back in the game, is they really need to have enough map awareness, which comes down to, you know, having an Oracle, having the wards come out from everybody, to lock up RG and get some free kills when they're not grouped together. Like we see McCarry Bear going in here, but they have no vision. They have no vision anywhere in here. They don't know the whole team's coming up. They're going to fight in this little cul-de-sac here as they go in. Rupture comes out. Here comes the Hemo Plague. There's the Solar Flare. Here comes the good Shockwave, though, coming out, but it looks like it's not enough. They're just 2 behinds, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. They don't have any vision anywhere down here. In the Banana Bush, no wards coming out there. There was good Command Shockwave coming out, decent Rupture coming out, and they were just not able, they didn't have the damage. Not enough damage coming out there.
So they really needed the vision to avoid that fight entirely.
Yeah, like, if they would have had the vision there, and if they were smart enough, they would have not gone in. They would have realized that there's no way we could lose that, or win this. And they had, like, a decent mechanics in that fight there, that with a great Command Shockwave and a good Rupture coming out, but they don't have the damage. They can't fight full man squad versus full man squad right now. There is no way they can win a full man squad fight. 5v5 is just not going to work for them. Even 4v5 probably isn't going to work for them. What they're looking for is they need a couple 5v3s, they need to catch out some high priority targets, and in order to do that, they need more wards and they need an Oracle. And I don't see that Oracle getting picked up yet, so I really have a hard time seeing them get back in this game right now. I mean, item-wise, across the board, we see Orianna building straight into a Void Staff to come out with a little bit more damage, but it still really wasn't enough there. And we have Quinn with the Bloodthirster. But after those two, there's really not enough damage, especially considering the items on the other side. On the other side, we have, you know, a Zhonya's Hourglass on Kennen, as well as a Haunting Guise and a Needlessly Large Rod coming out for the Rabadons. Ezreal's got his Last Whisper, as well as the Bloodthirster and Triforce. Even Lee Sin in the jungle has a Randuin's, as well as the Spirit of the Ancient Golem. Thresh has his own Locket of the Iron Solari. The jungler didn't even pick that up, so he's incredibly tanky as well. And Vladimir, in the meantime, is sitting on 3.5k. He has a ridiculous amount of money that he is backing for right now, so we'll see what he picks up with that. I'm assuming he's probably going to pick up... That wasn't what I was guessing. He picked up his Zhonya's Hourglass. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, it looks like we have going out here. Solar Flare comes out, but it looks like that just, again, they try to start the fight as they see the 3 members there, and that's what they need to do, but they weren't able to commit. They didn't all go in. The Shockwave didn't come out. And just like that, they're forced to back off as the Solar Flare was burnt. Man, that back animation on Leona is so cool. Woo!
You really are in love with that skin. Have you bought it yet?
Skin. Best skin NA, son. I already dazzle enough people in Diamond 1. I don't need a skin to do it. Looks like Orianna's throwing her ball out there. Kind of like a warning shot. But not too much going on there. Good thing got going for them is they have good wave clear here. So, but they're going to have to send somebody up top to deal with Kennen. And no one can really deal with Kennen 1v1 right now. Kennen can kill anybody he wants to if he decides to commit and go in for it. So, I'm expecting to see a dive come out off of a death sentence here, or a Lee Sin going in, or a Kennen just diving in with the Zhonya's, because we have Zhonya's on Kennen and on Vladimir. Decent wave clear coming out, but RG is probably just going to end up diving in here. As one Q from Kennen takes Quinn about a quarter of her HP. So we'll see how this goes. And normally you don't recommend a dive, and it looks like they're going to go back and maybe check Baron or something as they know it's not ward. They're going to wait here and try to get a free kill. But it really is, in my opinion, they have nothing to fear. They have 2 Zhonya's Hourglass. You just got to land the death sentence, pull some target closer to you just a little bit. Kennen goes in, pops his ultimate there, able to lock people up. Looks like they're going to go for this Baron, and it's going to be a free Baron. I really doubt WG is going to really check in on this, as RG is just going to, you know, kind of slow this one down. Leona finally picks up her oracles about 10 minutes too late into this game. So we'll see if that helps them at all now. But as the Baron comes out, I really am failing to see the comeback in this game as of right now. 16k gold lead coming out. Quite substantial.
So now Rageborn Gauntlet is taking their time. They just got Baron buff, and they're going now to secure the dragon and clear, or Ezreal cleared the bottom wave with his ultimate. They're now picking up their buffs, and I expect them to group mid any second now. And
yeah, I'm expecting them to group as well. They had a lot of money finished up. This game should have been over 10 minutes ago, though. They really need to learn how powerful they are and how much aggression they can really use if they're hoping to be effective in the later stages of this tournament. Right now we still have quite a few weeks left. They're doing really good in this match, but they have so much power, and I really feel to see them realize it to an extent. Like, they're winning fights, but I don't think they understand how powerful they really are, and they don't understand that they could dive in like it's no big deal. And we'll see how it goes as they group up here, and we'll see what they do as Kennen returns to the top lane to continue his ever split push montage. Looks like they're finally pushing in mid here, and hopefully we'll see how they can lock this one up. Lots of wards still coming out from RG as Thresh is warding the place up. Leona does have that oracles now, but it's not really going to matter when they're sitting here in a turtle position in their base. 1Q from Ezreal absolutely destroys Covet Panda on Orianna. That was half his HP with that 1Q. Extremely powerful right now. We'll see how this game goes. We need a perfect initiation coming in here, as the rupture does not land, and that was not it. And Valor was popped and wasted by Josh for show here. So we'll see how this one goes. I'm assuming this next wave, RG is going to be here in their face. As a Q from Ezreal takes Cho'Gath down to half HP. Leona is at like 3/4 now. Orianna's going to have to back. This next wave, I really expect RG to go in. We'll see how they do this. Looks like they're going in. Oh, great rupture coming up. Cho'Gath. Here comes Leona in with the Solar Flare. Here comes the Solar Flare. Hemo Plate comes out. Kennen rushes in with the Slicing Maelstrom and absolutely shreds people. As Ezreal picks up a lot of those kills there. And Lee Sin is cleaning up in the back line. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. They walked in there. They did that in the range of the tower. A perfect rupture coming out from Cho'Gath. And
yeah,
Leona
great
followed that up.
rupture and ultimate by Leona, but it still wasn't enough. The lead was too strong, and it was just a matter of time before Rageborn Gauntlet realized that they had that huge advantage.
And it was just, and that just goes to show, like, even with like a decent initiation, I really wish that Command Shockwave would have come out a second earlier in that. If it would have gone right on top of that rupture, it might have been a little different. Probably not too much. But then Vlad dropped his Hemo Plague, and then Kennen went in with his Slicing Maelstrom, and those two things sync so well together. And they were just able to shred them as the Nexus goes down here, and RG takes game 1 of 3 in dominating fashion, 58,000 to 35,000 gold as the end for that one, and a great job by them.
Alright, and so that is the first game going to Rageborn Gauntlet, and then we'll move into the group creation.